Limited access countries can be difficult with, I think, sometimes feeling the pressure of knowing that the government isn't very friendly towards you. That doesn't mean the people aren't friendly towards you, or that they aren't necessarily open to talking about spiritual things or wanting to hear the gospel. So I think that when you face the challenges of trying to stay long term, learn language, and make those friendships and relationships, it does take time. But you might always feel the stress of just how long will I get to be here. But the challenge, though, doesn't need to be something that would make you want to give up or leave, because the relationships that you can make there in that long term can be so deep and meaningful that you have the privilege to see people come to know the Lord, and that outweighs all the challenges or the fears that you think what might happen.
I'll say one of the challenges people face or think they face in closed countries is the lack of ability to communicate freely with people on the outside. You feel like when you're in a closed country that I'm somehow cut off, that if I say the wrong things, I'll get kicked out of the country for something I say. That's rarely the case when you actually understand that most things you can say, people can say freely without saying every single word in the conversation. So realizing you can actually have deep relationships with people back in the States or your sending countries, wherever you're from, can actually happen in those situations by the ability of just learning that you can communicate freely over phone, over systems that are there. You can say the things, as long as you're not saying certain terminology that cause problems. Other than that, you can say almost anything you want. So I think that's one fear people have, is that I can't communicate any longer. The other fear we find too is from churches and sending people, thinking if our people are in that country, I can't communicate with them because I'll mess it up. That rarely happens also, that someone gets messed up because of some communication they have. So I want to encourage you that in a closed country, feel free to communicate, learn how to communicate well in a closed country if you're from the outside coming in, but recognize that it's more important for them to have that relationship and knowing that you care for the people on the field rather than just cutting them off in fear that they'll be kicked out because of something you might say.